Hello, happy Monday. I'm back with another video on a topic near and dear to my heart, and that is boundaries. I work extensively with my clients on boundaries. Why? Because boundaries are how we protect ourselves. And to take that a step further, boundaries are how our adult self protects our inner child self and lets that inner child self know it can trust adult self. If you grew up in a home where boundaries were taught and respectfully met, and you have a secure attachment, then setting boundaries will come easier to you. If you grew up in a home where neither of those are true, then setting boundaries will feel difficult. But they are so key and important to working towards a more secure attachment. So first, let's get clear on what boundaries are and what they are not. So boundaries are actions you will take to protect yourself. Boundaries are never manipulation or trying to control someone and what they're going to do. They're always, here's actions I'm going to take to protect myself in this situation. The main fear I hear from clients around boundaries and when we're working on them setting boundaries is, well, I don't want to be mean, or what if I make that person feel bad? Sound familiar? So that guilt that is coming up around those boundaries, which we'll get into in a minute, I want you to have a check-in around that. And that check-in is, am I being cruel or am I setting a boundary? So what is being cruel? It's putting someone down, judging someone, shaming someone. What is a boundary? Setting an action, sharing an action you're going to take to protect yourself in a particular situation. Let me give you an example. So being cruel would sound something like, hey, you're a jerk and I don't like your hair color. I think it's stupid color. Boundary. I feel unsafe when there's yelling in an argument or a conversation. So the next time there's yelling, I'm going to leave that conversation or argument. The two are very different, right? So we don't have to worry about confusing them because you can very clearly hear and know, am I being cruel? Am I putting that person down? Am I shaming them? Am I judging them? Or am I simply sharing an action I'm going to take with them on how to protect myself? That person may have a feeling, and that's okay. They are allowed to have a feeling, just like you are. So if you feel guilt about them having a feeling, there's a few reasons why. 1, you were taught to feel responsible for other people's feelings. 2, you were taught that in childhood because you were probably responsible for someone else's feeling in childhood. And 3, your needs were not met and or dismissed and or told they weren't important, or you inferred they weren't important from being dismissed. So what do we do? I want you to first get into inner child and start to work through those questions. Where was I responsible for other people's feelings? Who was I responsible for their feelings? Why? And what did I need in those moments? And also, where were my needs dismissed? Where was I feeling that my needs weren't important? Once you work through that and really get that good reprogramming in, that sets up a great foundation to then get into boundaries. And if you have a situation you already know you want to work through, awesome. Take that through the workshop. If not, look at your life holistically and all the places that you may need boundaries. Work, love, family, friends, and take those through and see where you can start to set them up. The boundary workshop will give you incredible tools and make it really clear on where those boundaries need to be set and how to set them. If it still feels hard, I want you to check in with yourself. Am I being cruel or am I setting a boundary? And knowing the difference between the two. And lastly, if it still feels difficult, book a session with me. I love working with clients on setting their boundaries. So that's it for me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your afternoon and happy boundary setting.